space. So in the Eurozone, the monetary system looks very different, right? And some people have even compared the monetary system that is in place in the Eurozone now to a gold standard. So if you go back to the Financial Times, for example, and you look at past articles written by people like Martin Wolf, you can find the comparison being made between the monetary system that you have in the Eurozone and the old gold standard system that was in place, let's say, 75 years ago, right? Or 175 years ago. So why would someone make those comparisons? The euro isn't convertible into gold, right? So why would anybody compare it to a gold standard or a fixed exchange rate type of system? And the reason is because in the design and setup of the euro, what was done under the Maastricht Treaty is that all of these countries that joined the currency union gave up their sovereign currencies and adopted a currency that they cannot issue, right? So Italy, Spain, Portugal, Greece, the Ireland, the so-called awful name, right? The so-called pigs, and everyone else who adopted this currency is in the same boat in the sense that each of these countries is now constrained in a way that they weren't when they operated with their own sovereign currency. What does that mean? It means that in order to spend, these countries have to actually go out and get the currency. They have to come up with the euros from somewhere. And that means either through raising taxes and collecting euro or by borrowing the euro. You say, well, why would that be any different than in the US? The US also borrows dollars when it deficit spends. The difference is that when the government in the United States borrows dollars, there's no default risk. Financial markets understand that they're borrowing, that the government is borrowing in a currency that it creates. And therefore, the possibility of ending up with bills that you can't pay, bonds maturing, and the US government can't find a way to pay the bills is impossible. Whereas in the Eurozone, if you're borrowing in euro and you're, let's say, Greece or Spain or Italy or even France or Germany, there could be a possibility that bonds are maturing, the government is obligated to make payments in euro, and it doesn't have the euro to do that. And financial markets understand that the risks are different. And so what happens is financial markets expect a premium. They want a little something extra in order to assure them, in order to provide greater assurances that they're being compensated for the extra risk they're taking in lending to these countries. And so economists call that a risk premium. In other words, the countries that are borrowing in currencies that they don't control have to pay a higher price